all of you at home, and as you can see, this year's 12th procession has already started and is well on its way to the field at Edenderry. Peter Hatton is on the street below the commentary box. He's going to be talking to some of the people who've come into Belfast this morning to have a look for themselves at very close quarters the bands as they make their way through Belfast. The parade left here, the Pile Circus, and past our commentary box about half an hour ago, led this year by district number 6, that's Ballymacarrett. And later in the programme you'll get the opportunity to see those early lodges. Meanwhile, why don't you sit back and enjoy the bands and the lodges of district number 6, which is still passing by. A momentary pause here just outside the commentary box. So that'll be a welcome rest at this stage, if only for a few seconds, for these people who face a walk of 6 miles to the field and then 6 miles back. Putting a lot of energy not only into the marching but into the playing. And as usual, bands over from Scotland as well. District number 6 includes a lodge which came originally from County Cavan called the County Cavan Defenders. This lodge was formed in 1924 by men who'd left County Cavan in the early 1920s. And the majority of these men worked for Dobson's Dairies, and as a result the lodge became known as the Milkman's Lodge. That's one of the lodges in district number 6. This district, by the way, has got 3 new banners on display this year. Those belonging to lodges 490, 578 and 580. Thistlefoot band from Scotland. Now the Prince of Wales accordion band. Followed by Lodge 1321, which is the Thomas Andrews Junior Memorial. Always a lot of colour attached to today, not just orange, not just red, white, blue, but even the people who are walking along the streets with the band wearing a vast array of colours as well. And this year being the triennial year of the get-together of the Orange Lodges from all over the world, it'll not be uncommon to see flags from other countries, the Canadian flag there. everybody's getting in on the act. Doesn't matter whether you're walking today or not, the fact that you're actually there and waving a flag for so many people is just enough. Is he going to be able to do that out into the field? And more importantly, back again. Young Orange men and old Orange men. It's part of the Raven Food Band just passing us by. And that's Sydenham Lodge, formed in 1949. This year, just before the summer, we were looking back 40 years to VE Day, and you might like to know that on the 12th of July 1945, which was a Thursday, the weather was mainly cloudy with occasional rain or drizzle, and the unsettled weather was due to continue. I will say it's not really very different from the kind of weather we've had so far this summer. And the papers on the 11th of July were writing that the 12th in Ulster would not be nearly so noisy, so musical, or so colourful as of old. How it's changed. The reasons were that there were fewer lambegs, fewer bands, and fewer banners, and many of those in 6 years of idleness had become casualties of the war and were no more. And another problem faced by the Orange men in that year was the problem with banner silk. There wasn't a lot of it there, due to shortages after the war, and many lodges walked to the field without banners. Lord Salisbury Purple Star Lodge, formed in 1888, by the way, one of the oldest, in fact it is the oldest lodge in this district, District number 6, which is still passing us by. So many bands on parade this year, and yet the case 40 years ago was that bands had shrunk so much that there were only about 3 or 4 to each of the 10 districts. Before the war it had been 160, and I'd say the numbers are well up again this year. While it's overcast, it's very close. That's why the men walking today can get away without having jackets on. Many of them walking in shirt sleeves and short shirt sleeves at that. Ballybean Food Band. Followed by Orangefield Temperance, formed in 1870. Another visiting band from Scotland. And that's St. Martin's Church Defenders. Here come the East Belfast Protestant boys with that. Since he must spend the other 11 months of the year practicing to do that successfully all the way to the field. We're just coming to the end now of District number 6, who led off the first time in 10 years. Very long district, 44 lodges. And we come now to District number 7, north of Belfast. By the way, as I was mentioning, that 40 years ago, it was a different 12 from what it is today. The Grand Master of the Orange Order at that time, Sir Joseph Davison, was asking the public to give the Orange men room to walk in comfort by standing along the edge of the curb and enabling the procession to march between the curb and the tram lines instead of on the slippery and awkward surface of the tram track. How things have changed. And you can see people have moved off the pavement onto the road, and still there's room for the Orange men and the vans to get through. By comparison, District number 7 is a very small district, only 6 lodges in this. Sons of Ulster Flute Band. Coming up now, another one of the visiting bands from Scotland, the Govan Protestant Boys Flute Band. Very well turned out today. And hello to you too. Except they can't hear me. Well, as I said at the beginning of the programme, Rita Hatton is with us today, and she is on the street outside the Commodore Box, so I'll hand over to Rita now.
Hello, do you get the same satisfaction from watching the 12th parade as what you would have when you were a boy?
To a certain extent, well, hopefully. The thing about it is, as I said before, an awful lot of flute bands more than I think it was a bit more varied, you know.
You're from Belfast?
I'm from Belfast, outside, suburbs, you know, Belmont area.
And are you usually standing watching, or do you usually take a more
Well,
active part?
I had a more active part, yeah, when I was younger, before I got married.
Well, I'm going to move over to a young man here, a very well-looking man. Can you tell me how it compares watching the parade now to what it would have been when you were a child?
It's something the same, yes.
Do you think it's as big as what it was?
No, not there.
Nowhere near?
Not as big, no.
What do you think of the standard of the band?
Not as many variety now, isn't it?
Is it more flutes and less accordion?
That's right, that's right. No children.
No children. Matt, you're Rangers Football Club supporters. Are you from Belfast?
No, but Glasgow, rivals.
And you've come all the way over to watch the 12th parade in Belfast?
Yes, for 38 years, never miss it.
38 years?
Yeah, never miss it.
What does your wife think of this?
Magic, she's the same as myself, loves it. But I never miss it.
What do you think of the parade, the standard this year?
Well, I think it's still, I think it's bigger this year, you know. Same in Scotland, it's bigger last week and all, you know.
Do you usually stand and watch, or do you take part?
No, I usually take part in that. I work with the Prince Charles Band, they worked here for 23 years, you know, non-stop in Belfast, longest band doing it, you know. But this year I decided just to watch all, you know, for a change.
Would it not be easier to sit at home and watch it on television?
No, it's not the same.